haven't taken my medicine for like 4 days. So.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
Chris and Cash Show.
Chris and Cash podcast.
It's Friday, November 25th, 2016.
It is Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Just so you guys know, I'm going to be eating pecan pie while we're doing this. So.
Scotty again says he's going to eat the entire time.
No, I'm just going to eat my pie. But happy Thanksgiving late.
He gave me a pie too. So we will eat on the show. It'll be fun while you listen to us talking.
The only bad thing about Thanksgiving, by the way, which is my favorite holiday.
There's no bad thing about Thanksgiving. Shut your mouth.
The bad thing about
You
Thanksgiving.
shut your mouth.
You know what the bad thing is about Thanksgiving?
No.
As soon as it's over, it's Christmas season. I hate Christmas.
Oh, or I would say the bad thing about Thanksgiving is the next day after. Wait 364 more days till it comes back around.
Yeah. But that too.
Let's think of what I got. Family, friends, football, food. I can sleep, drink
Alcohol.
booze,
Yep.
and no one ever calls you a bum. So it's a weekday where you wake up and all you get to do is eat, drink, and sleep all day, and everyone else loves that you do that. They're so happy. They actually enjoy the fact that you do that for
How
them.
much piece of round did you have yesterday?
I didn't drink these around. I drank some wine. Got a huge stomachache, man. I'm supposed. We got acid reflux problems. I haven't been taking my medicine. This is not a good thing.
Yeah, that's why you got Tums, man. I had it too.
I ended up having to take Tums, and Tyler's mom gave me something. After. No, she did though. My cousin Jonathan gave me 2 Tums, and Tyler's mom gave me something because all I had been drinking too was coffee and wine, which is wicked bad, acidic for you.
How many times did Tyler call you Fat Keith yesterday?
I don't think he did actually.
No.
Which I mean, he made fun of me being fat at least 500 times.
Okay.
He didn't call me Fat Keith.
He didn't call you Fat Keith?
No, he wasn't like Fat Keith, Fat Keith.
Should have been.
Which is funny because we do buzz balls.
Ty, I'm disappointed in you.
But they were like saying that I would lose a race to Buddy's son, who's like 3 years old. They're like Fat. Actually, they might have said Fat Keith can't run anymore. I'm like,
I thought Buddy had girls.
But he has 2 girls and a son.
Oh, he has a boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he had just had 2 girls.
A son, Bubba. Well, he had 2 girls for a while. His son born.
Oh, okay.
So his wife, my cousin, was pregnant at my wedding. 3 of my cousins were pregnant at my wedding. She was one of them.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, Irish Catholic, yeah. That's how it rolls.
They're all pregnant.
All right, so we had a couple of situations last week which caused us to miss the show. We will catch up. We will break down the Pats against Seattle, which I was at, and San Francisco. The MVP voting is in. I am not happy.
Cy Young voting too. We didn't talk about that last time, did we?
I don't think so.
Wasn't that after as well?
We missed that one as well, but not happy about the AL MVP. It's ridiculous. We're going to get to that. The Celtics continue to be the Celtics. They can
A great mediocre team.
They can beat up on these bad teams. When they play a real team, they tuck the tail between the legs.
I wanted Anthony Davis too. You heard he doesn't want to come here?
Why would he? He's in New Orleans.
I'm just saying.
New Orleans is awesome.
Would you rather be in New Orleans or Boston for a basketball player, though? And they always tell me, oh, it's cold. Dude, you can just go fly a jet down south for a weekend. Who cares?
Dude, it must be sick to be a basketball player in New Orleans during Mardi Gras season, though.
You could just go to Mardi Gras season anytime in your life, though. Just hope that you're playing them.
It's on my bucket list.
Like, if you're rich and everything, you're famous and everything, you get tons of money, you can do whatever you want. You can bring Mardi Gras to you. You can just have like 14 chicks walk around your
I was telling my
mansion naked.
I was telling my friend
With Mardi
the
Gras
other day.
beads. How hot is that?
I was telling my friend the other day.
If you were rich, wouldn't you just have 14 million chicks walking around your house naked with Mardi Gras beads on? You'd be like, this is Scotty Gras. You know what I mean?
I'd probably like get out of my house. I want to go to bed.
Actually, if Scotty was rich, he'd be like, yeah, I need to find a way that like, my money can just keep making more interest so I can sleep longer.
Pretty much. I was telling my friend the other day, the Pats are playing there next year. I want to friggin' take a trip down to New Orleans with like a group of people.
I'd love to. What? We don't know when. Schedule's not out.
Schedule's not out.
I was gonna say what time in the year.
I want to.
I have 2 weddings down there. Well, I have one. I think Ty's getting married. I think in October.
Next year.
I think so. So that's in Georgia, and then Moore's twins getting married too. She just got engaged. She's getting married.
Really?
I think October as well in South Carolina. I'm just hoping it's different days.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to pick.
Well, no, they need to be different fucking days. Because it's Moore's twin, and she'll probably be the maid of honor. And that's Anthony's godmother, and then it's Tyler, and I want to be there for him too. So there's got to be goddamn different days. I think they're planning on doing the 1 weekend apart each, which will be great.
I'm not a wedding guy at all.
I love weddings.
I had fun at yours. That was about it. Actually, my cousin Tiffany's, I had fun at that. That was pretty good. My mom got drunk and danced like Elaine Bennis, and she never drinks, so it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
All right. I do want to start with the Patriots.
We talked about the Jamie Collins trade, though.
Yeah, we did. We covered that. I want to talk about the Patriots.
Listen, first of all,
Did Belichick outsmart himself by trading Chandler Jones, trading Jamie Collins?
well, if they have those players, what's
The
their
defense
record?
would be better.
What's their record?
They'd probably be 9-1. They probably would have won the Seattle game. Buffalo game, I mean, the offense was just barely an offense.
We're splitting hairs
NFL
here.
offense.
I don't know if they would be better. It's hard to say they'd be 9-1 or 8-2. They could be either one. You're right. If Tom Brady was healthy, maybe they're 9-1 the whole year. He wasn't suspended.
Well,
Okay.
that had nothing to do with health. That was just bullshit.
If you played, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like By the way, does anyone know, not you guys going to be able to answer this, why they waved off the Bergeron goal? We couldn't, I didn't see I saw the play, and then they had it 1-1, and then they took it away. And I guess I'll never get an answer from you guys, because this is not a call-in show, but...
Yeah, probably goalie interference, because we had the TV on mute, so it's not like we could get an explanation there.
Yeah, I know. I stopped watching, and I didn't see why they didn't re-show it again, where they would wave it off. But no, I don't know that he has. The defense is fine.
The defense was not fine
Look,
against
my
Seattle.
cousin Brad told me the other day. Listen, he says I lose sleep over the defense because he even said it's by design, bend no break. I'm like, yeah, by design. That's Belichick's way. The defense is fine. They're still third in the league in giving up points.
All right.
Everyone wants to be like the sky's falling. The defense
Chris.
is horrible. They can't stop anybody.
They played a real quarterback, and they got exposed.
How many real quarterbacks
Badly.
in the league?
Not many.
Okay.
But you're going to have to probably play one to win
And
a
you know
Super
what?
Bowl.
And your offense is going to expose their defense too, because every defense gets exposed against a real quarterback.
I didn't like the calls at the goal line.
Was Seattle
at the
just incredible at stopping us?
I
Was
didn't,
Seattle incredible?
No, but
Okay.
I didn't like, actually,
How many turnovers did we have that game?
a couple.
How many did Seattle have?
I don't think they turned it over.
Okay, switch that up. You think we might win the game?
Listen,
The Patriots could have picked off Wilson a couple times.
I just want to...
Didn't Hightower drop one?
Hightower did
And
drop
someone
one.
else dropped one, I thought.
Listen,
Come on.
I'm
Don't
going to ask you a question here.
That defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl in this day and
Listen,
age.
they rushed.
That's the answer to the
They
question.
rushed.
End of story.
Hold on. They rushed 2 and 3.
Again, by design.
Am I on the show?
You are on the show.
Am I a ghost?
But am I a fucking ghost? Am I amusing you? Listen, they rushed 2 or 3 guys. How's that the defense sucking? That's poor coaching.
And they dropped back 8 and 9, and these guys were still wide open.
Right,
That's the
because when you
problem.
give a guy 10 seconds to throw, eventually someone's going to get wide open. Seriously, you need to get to a quarterback in the NFL. I'm not saying you have to be the fastest.
Even
team
you
to get to a
said,
quarterback.
even in the text chain, you said that the defense sucked that night.
The defense did suck that night. I completely agree. And I'm not acting like this is a great defense. I'm saying this is a mediocre defense that is built how defenses are in this league now. Sucky. Because no one can stop anybody.
I thought after
If you were Washington right now, how would you feel like your defense was after Dallas just ran all over you?
not better to go.
They kept onside kicking, and they should onside kick the entire game.
Dallas couldn't stop Washington either,
Right. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
and I hate it.
It's the
not.
league, man. It's not like the Patriots are just some horrible defense. And I'm not saying they're great.
So Denver last year was the anomaly. What,
Yeah.
You know what sucks? I was hoping that teams would copycat Denver and just invest in the defense. Sign guys and draft guys that can cover and just rush three or four guys.
Still not enough. You have to have. Denver was lucky. And I don't want to say lucky. That's Chris Woods. If you listen, I didn't mean lucky like, oh, hey, they're lucky they won the Super Bowl. But we did talk about how they're lucky that they won all those games last year. But Denver was lucky in that they had studs at every level of defense, like every layer, and they were loaded on defense. Like they had replacements that were decent. That's not normal. They were more talented. I mean, who else? Seattle's a generational defense too. They have been for years. But other than that, who else is a good defense in this league? And even Seattle's defense gives up points all the time. You've been watching Green Bay games at all? The defense couldn't stop me and you.
The defense is worse than New England's.
Right.
Indianapolis.
Lots of defense are worse than
Indianapolis
New
is
England's.
worse. I'm saying,
Pittsburgh defense is nothing to write home about. I understand they stopped Indy last night, but it was Tolzien at quarterback.
yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He's their fucking bum backup. He actually didn't play that bad.
I
But like a couple guys dropped some really nice passes he threw.
I kind of like lifted my band a little bit yesterday, and I watched a little NFL. I saw Ben go right down the field like the first possession of the game, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to bed. This game's over.
What's 7-0? This game is over.
Game
That's the
over.
NFL though, dude. No one can play defense anymore.
By the way,
There's a reason why you're gonna have
wasn't happy with McDaniel's play calling in the Seattle game.
Daniel's play calling sucks most of the time. The only reason I'm not asking for McDaniels to leave is because I promised I wouldn't ask for that after they won that Super Bowl. Because he actually was good
3 tremendous game
right.
plans.
I can't complain about him anymore.
Actually, Indy doesn't even count. 2 tremendous
I can hope that he passes away mysteriously, even though that's horrible. But I don't want to. I can't be like
he hates Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Or Bill Clinton is going to die mysteriously.
Yeah.
Maybe
Donald Trump can deport him. Maybe he's Mexican.
He's gonna commit suicide at Gillette, and then his body's mysteriously going to be moved to the park where like Hernandez killed the guy. Because that's what the Clintons do.
Have you honestly looked at quarterback stats?
I haven't looked at quarterback stats, but I do want to make a couple of points.
It's absurd.
I want to talk about McDaniel's play calling in the Seattle game. And the frustrating thing is, 2 years ago, McDaniel's created the blueprint how you move the ball and score in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
You paper cut them to death.
Mm-hmm.
They did that the first drive, and they they shoved it down their throats. The rest of the game, they went away from the short passing game. They were throwing deep and running the ball.
Look, the Patriots running game sucked that game. They had one good run. What am I thinking with the San Fran game?
Blunt broke one last week.
Was that against San Fran or Seattle?
I think it was against.
Which one did he run the 44-1 yard?
Niners.
Okay. Even the rest of that game, their running game sucked. And most against Seattle, their running game sucked.
A lot of that, too, is your offensive line. It's not all Blunt.
Their offensive line's not good.
Right.
It's really not.
Mm-hmm.
But what you do when you have that offensive line is you give Brady, who's spectacular at doing this,
and you
the ability to just spread everybody wide
and
paper cut people to death.
In less than a second.
In a second and a half, paper cut everyone to death. Repeatedly.
My point is that's how that was their game plan in Super Bowl 49, and it worked.
They should use that again.
They did that on the first drive, and it worked.
Right.
Why did he go away from that?
Because McDaniels is dumb.
Why?
Because they could have scored 45 points
That's
on
what
that
I'm
Seattle
saying.
defense.
He outsmarts himself. He's like, oh, they're going to expect us to go short again, throw it short again and paper cut them, so I'm just going to run the ball now. Like, no.
You're going to have
do that.
You're going to have about 20 or so quarterbacks over 4,000 yards.
It's not even football. I hesitate to call it professional football.
It's pretty bad, honestly.
I'm not watching it. I don't lose sleep over it. But that Seattle loss was a bad loss. By the way, I hate the fade.
I don't.
I hate the end zone fade.
As long as you put it in a good spot, it's going to be
I mean, was Gronk held on that play? Probably.
Look, yeah, Gronk was held. Listen, I understand people are going to say, well, Gronk this, Gronk that. 99% of the time in that league, at least 95. Let's go with 95. They call it on a defensive play for doing that. Mm-hmm. They held the whistle because it's Gronk, it's Cam Chancellor, who's also a well-known player, and it was the end of the game. Mm-hmm. Honestly. If that's some scrub defender you never heard of, some scrub, guess what? That's a pass interference. If that's not Gronk, who never gets any calls, he gets treated like Shaq because he's too awesome. If that's like, say that's Edelman and he runs out there and Cam Chancellor does the same thing to him.
Flags coming out.
Flags are coming out. That's not the end of a game. Fourth quarter to decide the game. Flags are coming out. I don't like that. I've been over that with you guys. I don't like it.
We had one of our biggest arguments about that Ravens-Niners Super Bowl.
Right, I was just going to bring that up. I don't like it when you call a game different depending on when the game is. No, if it's a rule and this is how you're supposed to play, that's how you play all the time. I don't care if it's the first game of preseason or it's the last down of a Super Bowl. Because I still feel like San Fran got screwed in that Super Bowl.
My stance on that play hasn't changed almost 4 years later. You know what my stance was?
And that was a fade in the end zone too, right?
Yeah, and I hated that call.
But the guy was held. The holding is a hold.
He was held, but the reason I'm glad that there was no flag is because the ball was uncatchable. It was like 10 feet over his head. And I think that's why they didn't throw it.
You don't know that, though.
It was a bad pass, dude. Go back and look at the tape. There's no way he's going to catch that if he's all by himself.
Disagree.
He would have to sprint into the end zone, stop on a dime, jump 10 feet in the air, and catch it.
Maybe he could have done that. The defender has to give him the chance.
Oh, come on.
Seriously. I thought that ball could have been catchable.
Watch the tape. Uncatchable.
Now, part of it was Gronk's fault. He got too far up into Cam Chancellor.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But still, Cam Chancellor, and they played handsies together. And then Cam Chancellor pulled him down. How can you pull somebody down and it's not a penalty in this league?
I just didn't like the play calling on the goal line.
They had one on Coleman earlier.
Do you know what they were doing,
Coleman went up to hit the ball. He hit the ball on the way up. He hit the guy, too, before he hit the ball. And they put a pass interference. Fucking hit the ball.
The reason that they were running, on the 1 inch line is because of the defense.
What do you mean?
Well, earlier in the game, right before the half, I think it was like 59 seconds, they let Wilson go 75 yards for a touchdown. He did it in the Super Bowl, 80 yards and 28 seconds for a touchdown.
Okay. let me explain.
They
something
wanted
to
to leave no time on the clock for him.
you. You have to do that in the NFL.
Which I can't disagree with, honestly.
That's the NFL. I've talked to you about this before. The last thing I want to be is up less than 6 points, or less than 3,
Yep.
and have the other team have enough time to score a touchdown or a field goal.
Mhm.
Because no matter what, when any team,
Perpetual
other
fourth
than if
down.
you're a perpetual fourth down, unless you're a shit, like if you're Tolson, okay, that's one thing. But if you're any other, or if you're Brandon Weeden without a concussion, okay. But most quarterbacks,
Brandon
in the NFL,
Weeden with the concussion can do it.
yeah, most quarterbacks in the NFL can get a team and have that team score when it's needed.
But my point is, I can't disagree with that because Russell Wilson's done it twice to him in 2 years. He did it.
Okay, let's just look at a bunch of quarterbacks. You're playing Drew Brees. I don't want it to happen. That happen. Matt Ryan. I don't want it to happen. Kirk Cousins. The funny thing is Tony Romo. Those are the kind of picks he threw
You're right.
to end games like that. Tony Romo's actually a very good quarterback, but he just seemed to throw turnovers at the worst possible time.
But did the play calling suffer as a result of the clock management? I think so.
Okay, so the very first one, I think they wasted time. But I thought that was smart. The problem is they got down to the 2-yard line too quick.
They ran it again.
They got down to the 2-yard line too quick. What was there, a minute 20 seconds left?
Yeah.
You're going to score and give someone a minute 10 seconds to get in the field goal range?
No.
In this league?
No.
The only thing you can do is hope that Seattle goes faster, then you can kick another field goal later. Because that's how easy this league is.
I can't remember if they had a timeout or not.
If this is 1980s, Belichick just runs it in the first play. And then Seattle doesn't have enough time. Because that's not how the league worked back then.
Well, you were allowed to play defense back then.
Right. It was completely different.
See, the problem is with defense now, or lack of defense, receiver goes over the middle, you crunch him once, he's going to think twice going over the middle of the field the rest of the game. You do that now, it's a 15-yard penalty. And they're just going to keep calling
15-yard penalty. It's like 7 15-yard penalties. They're like...
7 consecutive. Every play the next 15
guys
plays.
ejected, you know what I mean? Like...
No, it's something that the NFL has to fix. They've had to fix it for a while. It's not a good product. It's not fun to watch.
Crusade for player safety.
Oh, it's such a facade.
Is costing them in the fact that they're not having this is not real football.
No.
It's really not. And I don't want you to blame it's not fantasy people, because guess what? Fantasy people, I'll live whether a quarterback goes.
That's part of it. That's a small part
because I'll live whether.
Small part of it.
Guess what? People still play fantasy if quarterbacks only throw 30 touchdowns and 250 yards a game. Seriously. I was playing fantasy back then. It didn't change. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I need more numbers for my guys.
It's not on the same scale then that it is now.
It is. Actually, fantasy's going down now.
Well, the last year or so, yeah.
Couple years, yeah.
Like a couple of years
Which makes sense. And that's like people like me. Listen, I'm sick of the NFL. I'm sick and tired of fantasy. I don't have 4,000 years of my life to waste doing these things, especially when the league sucks now. I want to watch real football.
Mm.
I don't want Thursday night games. We've been over this a million times.
Oh, horrible.
Not as like Thanksgiving. Keep Thanksgiving. That's awesome.
No, that's been doing that.
I was
for
bringing
100
Thursday night
years.
games yesterday. I was saying obviously not Thanksgiving. Keep Thanksgiving. That's great.
That's fine.
The rest of the Thursday night games they suck. They pull matchups. It's the middle of the week.
You know
Screws up my
what,
fantasy.
though?
Screws up betting.
Even the first game of the year with the champion plays at home, you keep that one.
You want to do a couple. You want to do the Thanksgiving ones. You want to do the first game of the year to open the season.
Leave
you
it there.
Do like,
That's it.
You want to do like the last 2 weeks for like holidays or something. Whatever. I'm cool with
Not
that.
every week.
Every week's horrible.
And the horrible
then every
games.
team has to be on. Every team. Every team gets one Thursday night game. That's great. I want to see the Browns-Rams on Thursday night. In London. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
it's like the NBA having like the Nets and Pelicans like on a prime time game. Like,
and then they send them to like Beijing and have them play. You know, like what's wrong with
this Mexico City crap. Like,
all of it. Just
the London crap. It's
horrible. It really is. If they can get a whole division in Europe, I don't know how they're going to do it. Go for it. The divisions are horrible. 4-team divisions are crap. I'm sorry. We should have 2 8-team divisions.
I love the way the division's set up. That's just me.
The divisions are only great because it is awesome scheduling. That's it.
Oh, the scheduling is perfect.
Right. That's it. Other than that, the divisions suck because you should have 2 8-team divisions in each conference. The two division winners get a bye, and then the next 4 best teams are wild cards. Because then good teams actually get in the playoffs. You have 11 and 5 teams not making the playoffs some years, and then an 8 and 7, an 8 and 8 team, or a 7 and 8 team, 7 8 and 1.
Pete's Seattle team made it 7 and 9 one year.
Yeah, there's been 7 8 and 1, 7 and 9, like division winners. It's crap. It's bogus. I wanted one of those teams to make it to a Super Bowl and win with like a negative point differential. Not even the Giants. The Giants that year they were 9 and 7, and they had what? They had a negative point differential, didn't they?
They were by like 5 points.
Yeah. But I wanted like a really poor team, like a 7 and 9 division champ. Maybe I want a 6 and 10 division champ to win a Super Bowl. So people can stop telling me that Super Bowl winners are the best team.
AFC South.
I want Cleveland one year to win like 4 games, somehow win the AFC North, and then win the Super Bowl.
It would never happen.
That'd be great. I'm like, this is what a joke this league is. No, it's a problem. Crappy teams shouldn't be making. I criticize baseball for having too few playoff teams normally. I mean, I don't like the second wild card the way they have it now.
I love the wild card. I hate the second wild card, the playoff game.
But the divisions were better in baseball. Divisions were better when they only had 2 divisions in each.
In the early 90s.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It's better
They had the AL, they had the AL and NL West.
You don't need to water down the playoffs by giving me more divisions. Like, dude, a division championship is cool now, but it's really like, okay, you're better than 3 crap teams.
You
Yay,
got people like my dad and my uncle who would still hate that, like, you know, AL champ, NL champ, and you meet in the World Series just based on best record. My dad doesn't like the playoffs. He wants it to go back to like he wants it to go back to pre-1969. Like, best record goes. Best record goes.
I wouldn't mind 4 teams if they went back to 4 teams.
So the early 90s, yeah.
But they just had 2 division winners and 2 wild cards. That gives everyone plenty of time.
That's not a bad idea.
162
We've talked
games.
about it 100 times.
162 games.
The only problem you're going to have with that now, there's 30 teams and there's 15 teams in each league. So
they do it in a league all year round now, anyways, right?
Oh, I hate interleague.
You're gonna have to have one 18.
Don't get me started in interleague. The Red Sox are opening up against the fucking Pirates.
Either that, or you know what you do?
What?
You add another team in each league.
Do we really need another one? All right, fine. Get Boston an NL team. Perfect.
Your Boston NL team, put a fucking team in Las Vegas.
No, an AL team in Montreal.
Las Vegas.
AL team
Montreal.
in Montreal.
Okay, there you go.
Boom.
Problem solved. Okay?
We're
fixing your problems, baseball.
No more interleague. No more interleague.
Is that actually enforcing your 20-second clock on pitches?
The only thing is, Boston gets an NL team again. Where are they going to play? They'd have to share Fenway.
I don't know, but it'd be better than Fenway. Play it like friggin'. They can play somewhere in Lynn.
Actually, play at Manning Bowl.
I was gonna say they're literally good.
You can't play at Old Braves Field because all that's left is a right field grandstand now.
There's not gonna be a college field they could play at for a year or 2.
I don't think there is.
At all?
Could they play it like Foxborough? Could they
play Foxborough.
Could they take the stands out and play at Foxborough?
They could play at Foxborough, actually. They really could.
It would. It's never. I mean, it's never going to happen. The Red Sox would never allow it.
Well, that's a problem, though.
Yeah.
They could put the team in fucking Worcester. I don't care. Would it be a problem for them to have a Worcester team?
Yeah.
NL?
Because Henry's an asshole.
No, but
I've said this before.
This area is one of the biggest combined statistical areas in the country. It's like the 5th or 6th biggest population-wise. We can support 2 teams. We're a rabid sports fan base.
We talked about this before.
It would be awesome. It's not like the Red Sox aren't going to lose fans.
Boston proper is tiny.
Right.
But
the area is huge.
Huge. Right.
Huge.
We talked
because you're talking about Providence is not far from Boston. Like another place, like when you go somewhere else, their combined statistical area is maybe 1 or 2 major cities, and it's like a couple million people. Boston's really like 7 million people. 6 million people, whatever it is.
If John Henry's listening to this, and again, it's never going to happen, right?
No.
But these are a couple of things for him to consider if they wanted to grant Boston a National League team. You split Fenway with them, your revenue doubles. So instead of, and I'm talking about concessions, instead of 81 games of concessions, you get 162 games of concessions. You own NESN. You can charge the team to be on like NESN 2 or something to broadcast their games.
Yeah, no. That's the rule you have.
Third and final.
When they come in, you make them have to be on NESN for 20 years or something.
Right, like a deal like that. The Nationals still have to broadcast their game on MASN, which
really quick. This is the largest combined statistical areas in Massachusetts in the United States. Number 1,
New York.
How many people?
A lot.
Estimated at almost 24 million. Set number 2,
L.A.
Almost
Chicago,
19 million. Chicago about 10 million.
Baltimore.
Washington. San Jose. The fuck's number 6?
Boston, Worcester,
Providence, Mass, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut. I
actually thought Dallas would be more, but apparently not.
Right, Dallas is 7th. We're the 6th largest market. We're fucking huge. We got 8 million people.
By the way, Peter Angelo saying that Baltimore's a small market, 4th in the country.
Right, because he's an asshole. They compete with Washington though.
Huh?
They're competing with Washington.
No, but what you were getting.
But you got a big.
You were getting
a big area.
Getting back to what you. I agree. Getting back to what you said though.
I mean, there's no West Virginia team, right?
I know. Well, that's Oriole country.
That's what I'm saying.
But the Nationals are still paying the Orioles. They pay Peter Angelos to broadcast their games. It's still part of the agreement.
So the Red Sox could do that.
The Red Sox could do that with the Boston team. And this is the other crucial thing for John Henry. It's the Boston Red Sox. You play in a park that you print money. Everyone's going to go to Fenway Park. The Red Sox are not going to lose their following. It's generations deep.
Not even that. It's countrywide.
Right. My point is, if there was an NL Boston team, there'd be no threat to his brand.
None.
None.
I think it will end up increasing the brand.
I don't know about that.
Are the Yankees hurt because the Mets are around?
I think it's helped them.
That's my point.
Well, I mean, that was different. The Giants and the Dodgers.
Then you have an inner-city rivalry, right?
The Yankees were the only team in New York from 58 to 61.
Right, but I know they had a lot of New York teams before that, too.
Well, they had the Giants and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They both went
They
west.
both left.
And then they had to get a national team back in New York, and they made the Mets.
But I think a National League team in Boston doesn't hurt the brand. I think it helps. Honestly, I think it does.
Dude, I could give up the Orioles and root for that, like adopt that as my new team.
And you're not a Red Sox fan.
What?
And you're not a Red Sox fan.
I'd root for the Boston.
Let's even say that they lose.
Dude, National League Baseball's better.
I have a question for you.
National League
Say they
Baseball's
lose
better than
20% of
American
the Red Sox fans to the new team, okay?
They wouldn't, but go ahead.
A lot of those fans and people are still going to end up going to Red Sox games, too.
Yeah.
Where do the Red Sox lose? They don't. They're going to sell out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, maybe they have to use Fenway here and there. I don't think they could do Fenway, like, share it the whole year.
No, temporarily, until they built the stadium.
I don't even know they could share it the whole year.
Two or 3 years.
It'd be a scheduling nightmare.
The Yankees and the Mets did it.
But it's a scheduling nightmare.
The Yankees played at Shea for like 2 years while they renovated Yankee Stadium.
I understand that. It's a scheduling nightmare, though. Really is. Because you have to be... You're always away when the other people are home.
They can figure it out. They can figure it out.
Plus, Fenway's not a nice stadium.
It's
talk about it all the time. It was made for people the size of Jesus Christ. If you're not a 4'10", 110-pound person,
by the way,
you're like, this is cramped. I don't like this seat.
It's funny you brought that up because we were at Continental yesterday.
And again, Jesus Christ can see through construction pillars. I can't. I can't see through stone. Okay.
He can walk on water, but he can't fit in the seat.
He actually probably can't. That's how small the seats are. Fenway is not designed for the modern human being. It's not.
It's funny because we were at Continental yesterday for Thanksgiving because my mother didn't want to cook. So we got the 4 of us sitting in this booth, and we're like this, right? So my brother's like, yeah, this is definitely built for people in like the 1960s that was smaller. And Dad's like, ooh, it's like Fenway.
It's not even Fenway. It's like literally Fenway is like, oh yeah, we built this for in 3 AD.
No, but here's my question. Again, this is all just us bullshitting because it's never going to happen. Boston got a National League team. If they're granted a National League team, if I'm like the owner, I call the Braves and try to buy the name back.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would just suck because you'd want them to be the Braves again. But Atlanta's not gonna get rid of the Braves.
Why? No one goes to the games.
I understand, but
just call them the Atlanta Flames, like the hockey team. No one would even know it. The Thrashers, the Atlanta Thrashers.
Like people would say though, what do you call them? The Atlanta Coloreds? Like
no, the Atlanta Thrashers.
My point was, people first of all want to get rid of the Braves name. People don't like the Native American names. Look, I don't have a problem. I'm also white as fuck. All right. I'm like 1/1,000,000th Native American.
I think it's awesome that Daniel Snyder's like, no, we're not changing the name.
I don't find them offensive, and I actually think that there's a problem with a lot of Native Americans don't find it offensive. But I understand if
9 out of 10 Native Americans like the Redskins, and it doesn't bother them.
I don't know. That's hard. I've seen different studies that say like the opposite.
Yeah, but that's the problem. They cater to the 10% that whine. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's the same.
I mean, I know they get casinos and friggin' all that stuff, but they're completely oppressed people.
Okay.
If they were talking about the Dakota Pipeline, let's not get crazy into politics, but
listen, if there was an NFL team called like the New York Ginzos and it was a picture of an Italian guy with a mustache eating a calzone, would I care?
No. But what if it was what if they named it like the Armenian genocides, and it was just helmets of like Armenian people getting killed?
I'm not.
That's
Armenian.
Like that.
What do I care?
I know, but Armenians would. Even if some Armenians thought it was cool and they rocked the jerseys and stuff, yeah, Armenians. But the whole point is like, this is a suppressed people. They're oppressed. They're not just like, I mean, you and me, yeah, Irish and Italian people were oppressed before, but guess what? Then they just had to let us into the white club, and we're fine now. Like, just suddenly, like in The Departed, like he says, only thing I have against the black chappies, they won't get out and take it. He's like, 50 years ago, whatever he says, an Irishman couldn't get a job. Then we became president. You know what I mean?
May he rest in peace.
It's like Kennedy's been president. I mean, I guess actually Obama's been president, so black people can't complain anymore either. Even though he's really only half.
Yeah, they killed the wrong guy.
Oh, come on, that's horrible.
That's
absolutely horrible.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know you don't like. I will continue to argue Obama's a pretty good president. I know I'm way liberal and way left of you, and I'm a socialist, and I voted for him twice, but he's not like my favorite president ever. He's a cool guy.
I think he's a pretty lousy president. We've had worse, but he's like right there at the bottom.
I don't think he's that bad. George W. is worse, and so is George H.W.
No, No,
George W. I think.
HW was better than him.
No, he wasn't.
Not by much. But
No, he wasn't. It goes Clinton, Reagan, Obama since I've been alive.
Reagan, Clinton.
No, Reagan's overrated. Trickle-down economics
if you go look at any presidential ranking for the last 25 years, Reagan is in or near the top 10, and Clinton's usually between like 12 to 20.
They have these, on the internet.
Yeah,
and they're done by historians, so it's not like they're friggin' garbage. And they do different ones all the time, and every time they do a different one, they put it on here. So let's look at.
Yeah, look at it. Here's Reagan.
This is a little thing. It's
that's
on
a lot of.
Wikipedia.
That's a lot of blue. That's a lot of blue right there.
Yeah, but what's going on? What's happened recently? He's gone into the green, right?
Yeah, he's still higher than Clinton in the most recent one, 15 to 22.
Yeah, and what happened for you the last time they did it?
Last year,
Clinton was ranked 8th out of every president ever existed.
Yeah, then they found out what was going on in the Clinton Foundation.
So currently, out of the presidents that have been in the White House since I've been alive, this is how they rank them. The most recent ranking. Ronald Reagan's ranked 15th out of all the presidents all time. Clinton's ranked 20th. Excuse me, Obama's ranked 17th. Clinton's ranked 20th. George H.W. is ranked 22nd, and W is ranked 34th. That's what I've told you. The rest of them are good to pretty good presidents.
Nixon is way too low. I know we disagree on that.
It's surprising that they're all ranked in the second quarter of presidents. They're all broken into quartiles.
Yeah.
And blue is awesome. Like, obviously, George Washington's always in the
Lincoln,
blue. Jefferson's always in the blue.
FDR.
Lincoln, yeah. Oh, yeah. Roosevelt's always in the blue.
Truman.
Actually, both Roosevelt's usually always in the blue, aren't they? Yeah, Teddy is too. Yep, Eisenhower's usually in the blue.
JFK.
You know what I mean? Like the JFK, he's been blue mostly. In the blue again.
Like, see, some of these are flawed because, I'm sorry, Nixon was a better president than LBJ was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Watergate was a screw. Look at.
I don't really.
Take Watergate out of it. Other than FDR, name me a president that accomplished more in his first term than Richard Nixon.
But Ford and Carter are not bad. They're both high 20s.
Answer me that. You can't. Other than FDR, name me a president that accomplished more in his first term than Richard Nixon did. Because you're not going to be able to name one.
That's not just what you go by, though.
Yeah, Watergate was a disaster, but what about all the other good things he did?
I understand that, but he had a lot of faults, Scotty.
He had a ton of faults.
The reason that he had to resign from being the president is not because he was like, oh, look at me, I'm so awesome at president. He was like, let's kill the Jews. They're horrible. They're trying to get me.
He didn't say that.
He really did, like, behind closed doors. Like, the Nixon tapes are crazy.
His biggest mistake was JFK and LBJ had the video recording system as well, but they would hit a button to turn it on and off. Nixon's was voice activated.
You mean because they're not stupid?
And always turned on.
Uh-huh. They're not stupid.
For as brilliant as he was as a politician and a president, he was very obtuse and careless. But that doesn't make him a bad president.
Lincoln still rated #1, baby. Lincoln's the lowest Lincoln's ever been rated in any of these is 3rd. It's fucking awesome.
Jefferson's kind of low at 4.
No, he's
Where's FDR in the recent one?
I'm gonna presume FDR's 2 if Lincoln's 1, Washington's 3, and Jefferson's 4. Yeah, FDR's 2. FDR's a socialist, man. Everyone always craps me for being a socialist. FDR's been 1 a lot too, but yeah, that makes sense. These are the best presidents that ever existed. Wilson was a good president. Taft was crap. Harding was horrible. Look at him, always crap.
Yeah. Even though I'm a big JFK guy, I'm not sure if I'm okay with him being 11th because he was only president for like a little over 2 years, almost 3 years.
Oh, but you love him. Look, they had him 6th at one point. Granted, that was years ago. I don't know when that was, but
yeah, that was a while ago.
I'm trying to find out what that was before Barack was even president. Well, I gotta scroll
just
up.
Go on. Yeah. That was in C-SPAN in 2009. Wow.
Oh, the last one's an aggregate. Okay, the last one's an aggregate, meaning it's just a average. We'll see where they put Obama now. He'll probably go down, but again, I think Clinton, then Reagan, then Obama, best presidents I've been alive. Then HW, and W was the worst. And I feel bad for W because I don't even think it's not his fault.
How'd we get into talking about presidents?
I don't know. We always get into talking about presidents. W was like Carter in that W seemed like a really cool guy. He just never should have been president. Like Carter is a great person. He's a humanitarian. He's like out again.
Terrible
he's
president.
Fixing houses right now in a tsunami, saving people's lives.
Look at poor James Buchanan.
Terrible president.
James Buchanan is always in the 40s.
It's horrible. He'll be in the 50s once he had more presidents. You know
Yeah,
what I
you're
mean? Like, same thing with like Harding and some of these other presidents. They can always be
So someone like William Henry Harrison, he was only president for like a month, and then he died.
right. And he's lucky he's only 39th.
Zachary Taylor was president for like a year, and then he died. Like there are like I think who was the other one?
You realize Trump could be way in the red.
Could be way in the.
It could just say be like black Donald Trump worst ever.
I don't know.
Dissolve. You know, California might vote to secede from the union.
I hope they do. California sucks. I hate California.
Yeah, you say that. Oh, I know. You don't want the Lakers to be from the United States. I get it. Blah blah blah. Stealing championships. That's a serious deal. Like the biggest state in the country leaving is a big deal.
I hate California.
Kind of is. Because then I'm like, all right, you know what should happen?
California contributes nothing to
We can either
society.
take New York or we can leave New York, but New England can get off the island too. Because I don't want to give money to Alabama. I don't want to keep Mississippi afloat. Everyone acts like, oh yeah, liberals are garbage. Yeah, except all the liberal states pay for all the conservative states to stay running, or they'd all be bankrupt. That's what the union does. So I'm cool with letting the South suffer. Have no money.
All right. I do want to talk about the MVP voting. I'm glad we got into a little baseball discussion. Oh, actually, we didn't break down the Pats and 49ers.
Do we even break down the Seattle game, really?
We just
We're
did.
just like, boo, play calling.
Yeah, pretty much. It was 30-10. They won 30-17. It wasn't that close. The defense was better in the second half, but look at the quarterback they played. Now that's not their fault. You play your competition. I think, considering that Brady was throwing into a friggin' tsunami.
Right. I gave him a B+/A- grade, and people
B+.
ripped my head off.
B+.
A couple different people in our email
4
chain.
touchdowns, no picks. His completion percentage.
Then he
sucked.
won AFC Player of the Week.
His completion
Offensive
percentage
player.
sucked. What was he, like 24 or 40? But look what he was throwing at.
But it was 60-something%, whatever it was. It
It's
was low 60s.
for him. That's terrible.
It wasn't
But-
good. No, I'm not saying it was. But you know what?
I'm not even saying it's terrible. For him, it's terrible.
Right. It was below average. Even probably slightly below average for completion percentage. Completion percentage nowadays is like 65% probably. It was a little bit below average, but he had 4 touchdowns, no picks, 280 yards. He was the best player on the field the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
If the Patriots didn't have him, they would have lost. That's how bad the team played.
That pass that he threw to Mitchell for the touchdown.
Pass to Mitchell was great, though. The play to
It was
Amendola
right
was
over the
great.
defender's head, right into
Because he was like bobbing and weaving. He looked like Muhammad Ali dodging. Okay?
flowed like a butterfly.
He was in the
sting like a
pocket.
bee.
Yeah, he was in the pocket going back and forth, like dodging everybody, and then throw beautiful passes, stinging them for touchdowns. I don't know what to say. I mean, he wasn't the greatest performance I've ever seen in my life, but it was clear that he was the best player in the whole. And again, if they had just spread the offense out, he probably could have had 8 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know why McDaniels is like, I know what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball. And I'm like, listen, I don't mind running. I really don't. I like having a
But
running
pick
game.
your spots.
Run it right. What you should do is you should spread them wide for like 2 or 3 drives in a row. Get a touchdown on each one of those,
Right. Go up 3 scores and then run.
and then start running.
run to your heart's content. Right.
Then start changing it up. And, I mean, the tight end thing's a big deal. Because Gronk and Bennett, they allow you so much leverage because they can block and catch, which is incredible. Like, Bennett's been an amazing addition to this team. When Gronk and Bennett are healthy, Brady has by far the best weapons in the league.
Bennett does the little things. He blocks.
He does stuff. He's a slightly worse version of Gronk. Honestly. He is. And I was talking about that too. A lot of that has to do with attitude. I think if he had a dedicated attitude, Gronk's a little bit of a pussy, and then he's too soft when he gets injured. He's going to be out for 7 games with a bruised friggin'
By the way,
chest.
that Cam Chancellor hit on him in the Seattle game. Clean hit.
Oh, that was
Loved it.
Earl
Like-
Thomas.
Yeah. Was it Thomas?
Yeah,
It was
jacked
Thomas.
him up.
It was Thomas. Yeah, and I like the mutual respect afterwards. Gronk was basically like, "Yep, clean hit."
It was. He drilled him. It's just that Gronk could probably play. Probably could have played against San Francisco.
If it was a playoff game, I doubt he wouldn't.
Right, but my point is Gronk's always like, oh, gotta protect this chest. Can't get hit again on the bruise. And like Bennett plays through stuff, but Bennett's just more like it doesn't seem like he tries all the time. Bennett reminds me of Randy Moss a little bit. But if things aren't going his way, well, I meant like giving up and dogging it when it's not going to him.
I wouldn't
It's not
say
going his way.
dogging it.
I feel like
Out
he
to-
goes
out to-
off something. Out to lunch.
Out to lunch a
Yeah,
little.
it's like Manny being Manny. I want to say it's just Bennett being Bennett. It's Martellus being Martellus, okay? You got to feed the man because it keeps him activated in games. You give him a couple passes and he plays better.
Mm-hmm.
But he should be getting 5-6 catches a game for 90 yards. Really should.
It's not like Moss. Moss would be like, I wouldn't feed the shit to my dogs. Like,
Oh, no. Moss number one. I remember when Moss was still on Minnesota and one of my friends saw him play live. And literally, he was like, on the plays that Moss knew he wasn't getting the ball, he did fucking nothing.
Just stood there.
He just stood there and didn't even move. It was just like, and then when it was him, it was just like boom, burning everybody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, Bennett has a little bit of that in him, just a little bit, where he seems to just not. I'm not talking about on the blocking side. He blocks really well, but it seems like when he's not involved in the game, they're not feeding him. He just kind of like shuts it down, doesn't try as hard. I don't like that. Amendola's like the opposite. Amendola's like never involved. He's always ready to be like, throw me the ball, throw me Tommy, give it to me Tommy, come on.
Gronk is just like the perfect player. Guy never makes a mistake, like hardly ever.
Yeah, Edelman pisses me off. He makes mistakes. That fumble by him
in Seattle.
Yeah, they could have won the game. That's him fighting for zero.
Midfield.
And I've told you guys this before. When he broke his foot,
they were in midfield with like 4 minutes.
Question: when he broke his foot last year, did I not complain about him fighting for no yards when he doesn't need to fight for it?
That's not how he is.
I understand that's not
how he plays.
But he should. Even Gronk talked about it this year. Tom says they usually call him Tommy. They say, "Yeah, just go down, save myself." I know that Julian, like Dion used to do that. Dion Branch saved himself. What's the point of getting drilled for no reason?
Dion took a. You know what though? Troy Brown
took too many hits.
Troy Brown was like
but that. He got better at it. He did learn. He was even talking
late in his career.
But Edelman hasn't learned that yet. Edelman's like, watch me fight for no yards in the middle of the field and have them strip me because they're huge.
Troy's
an idiot.
Troy's like first 6-7 years of his career, he always fought for the extra yards.
Look, if Edelman can get 4 or 5 extra yards and it's important, go for it. It's a Super Bowl. You need the first down, something like that. All right. If you're going to take like 17 hits to get an extra foot and possibly strip the ball, what are you doing, guy? Seriously. I understand playing with you. There's a reason why Larry Bird had a short career.
Mm-hmm.
Played like an idiot a lot of times. And then he had to go friggin' do his mom's driveway.
Well, he played every game like it was his last. So.
Right. You can't always do that if you want to save yourself.
He did the driveway because he didn't want to pay anyone to do it.
That's my point. He was just poor. And he probably like homebrewed his own beer that tastes like shit and drank it on the way. You know? They were like, there's a liquor store right down the street. I'm not buying that shit.
Why it's the hick from French Lick.
Yeah. And
no, Larry's like me. He's a bud drinker.
And part of that is what made Larry great, is that he always laid it on the line. And part of that is what drives Edelman to be a great player. A very good player.
Why did Allen Iverson have so many injuries throughout his career? Same thing.
Well, he played even though he didn't practice. Practice?
He didn't need to practice. The most underrated part of that cut was at the very end. He goes, "How the hell am I supposed to make my teammates better about practice?" I love that. That's like the forgotten moment of that whole rant. It was the best part.
The funny thing, I forget, because it wasn't even like he wasn't practicing.
He showed up late to a practice.
Yeah. I forget. It was way overblown.
What did Allen Iverson need to practice?
He didn't.
Okay.
Even people think he never passed. He passed more than Kobe. There were years
everyone
I passed more than Kobe.
Lewis Scott and Celtic Pride passed more than Kobe.
But he actually had a lot of assists.
He averaged like 7 assists every year.
Yeah, there was a couple years he actually...
With garbage, by the way. He didn't play with anybody.
Right. And you're never going to see a guy that... You're never going to see a guy that small, that talented again, probably.
What Isaiah Thomas does for the Celtics now, multiply that by about 8, and that was Allen Iverson.
With Worth's teammates.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, actually...
he would have died to have a drug
sure?
Yeah.
Seriously, like, the best player that Iverson ever played with was... actually, he played with Carmelo in Denver.
Yeah, but for his career, he's 6.2 assists per game for his career.
Look at his peak, though.
7.5 his first year in the league. Then you go to 04, 05, 7.9, 7.4, 7.2. Denver first year with Denver, 7.1. I mean, dude passed.
Yeah.
A lot.
I'm pretty sure that Kobe's assist for his career is like 0.3.
Kobe's the only one you go to his thing and it says assists negative 1.6. You're like, what?
It's just like,
he actually took the ball from someone to shoot it.
It's like question marks. Everyone's making a big deal. Kobe scoring 60 his last game. He took like 55 shots.
I thought it was more. I thought it was like 100.
Probably did. It's like, I'm going for Wilt's record tonight.
But two of my...
It's funny. Bill Simmons had a line in his book. Because, like, when I was like, had his sights set on records like field goal percentage, points, rebounds. That is like when he found out
the game of basketball book.
No, yeah, when he found out like assists was a stat, he led the league in assists.
Yeah.
He's like, if they had turnovers back then, he would have been like chucking them into the third row.
Seriously, he just wanted to lead the league and everything. And so it kind of depends what drives the play. You know who's playing really awesome though?
James Harden.
Harden and Westbrook. If they had kept that team together in OKC, and I told you guys at the time that was the worst thing I've ever seen. That was a dynasty for years to come. That might have been the best dynasty you ever saw, talent-wise. Those three players together?
60 Celtics, yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about wins. I'm talking about talent combined together. This isn't
Right.
basically,
The 60 Celtics had like 9 All-Stars.
but this is a third. That's completely different. I talk to you about this
By
all
the
the
way,
time.
what the
This
hell?
is a 30-team league.
What is wrong with Dallas?
You realize there was 24 All-Stars on 9 teams back then. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's 24 All-Stars on 30 teams. It's not like they suddenly have a 72-man All-Star team. That's what they'd have to make it equivalent. Actually, it still wouldn't be equivalent. You'd have to have like 76 or whatever. But the point is, it's harder to make an All-Star team now than it was back then. Tommy Heinsohn's not an All-Star in this league. It's not. He'd be like left off. So he had played in a decade earlier.
Say he played in the 80s. Is he making, and he's in the Eastern Conference, is he making the All-Star game over Larry Bird or Bernard King or Dominique Wilkins or any of these guys?
No, he's not
Probably
making
not.
it. He's not making it last decade.
Yeah, is he making it over Paul Pierce? Is he making it over LeBron?
No,
Is he
that's my
making it
point.
Yeah.
And that's because if there was only 9 teams in the league, imagine if I had to take 24 All-Stars from these teams. Just the East, and I had to do it from the Pistons through the Cavs. That's my point. Because suddenly the Pistons have an All-Star. You know what I mean? Suddenly the Celtics have 2 All-Stars because I'm taking 24 players from 9 teams.
I still thought the league was more condensed and competitive back then.
Oh no, the talent was more condensed. Because
Like even the shit teams had like
they had to.
2 Hall of Famers on.
But everyone had Hall of Famers and All-Stars because there were so few teams, is my point. So, like, it is harder technically to make an All-Star team now. It's also, you're not going to see, like, it's just completely different. It really is.
How did we were talking about Irish.
I don't know. We go
Iverson.
off on everything.
I'm like the old grandpa who like forgets.
When do we ever not go off on sports?
I'm like Jim McMahon. Like
We were like Tom Brady, Presidents, Iverson, All-Stars.
I'm like Jim McMahon. I'm like, why did I go in this room?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Look at Kobe's assist stats. I'm curious now.
I mean, they're actually not that bad. They're pretty bad, though. Hold on.
He had Shaq in his prime. He should have averaged like 10 assists a game.
Well, he likes to shoot, dude. But they're not as bad as people, even that we would just make them out to be. Again, Kobe Bryant is a vastly less talented Jordan.
I think he's one of the most overrated players of all time. That's just me.
He's the Derek Jeter of basketball.
Pretty much. What are his assists? 4.7?
4.7.
That's generous. What's his high?
He had 6.3 a couple of years ago. It's the highest. His high was basically just above Iverson's average. And honestly, Kobe was a very good player.
Hungo.
Yeah, he was a very good player. He is way overrated. He's a top 10 player basically because he has 5 rings and an MVP.
I don't even think he's a top 10 player.
I think he is. He's
top 20. Not top 10.
Ah, he's better than top 10, 20.
No.
He also has way more All-Star games than he should. They were like, Kobe's 38 and he doesn't play anymore. All-Star.
Yeah, they did that with Jordan, too. Jordan wasn't an all-star those last 2 years with the Wizards.
Always better than Kobe.
What? I mean, he was still had better numbers than him, yeah. And you could still hand check back in 02.
Still putting up 20 points a game.
That Washington team was terrible, though. It was him and, like, Rip Hamilton
That's
and a bunch
it.
of stuff, yeah.
But, Tom Brady's not the problem.
No, the defense is.
I don't
even think Matt Patricia is the problem.
Matt Patricia's comments this week were a problem. He was asked by Curran, and he took offense when he basically questioned, like, is he part of the problem on defensive play call, like, being the D
He
coordinator?
didn't take the high road.
He should have. He should have just been like, listen, it's a tough job. I guess I could be part of the problem, blah, blah. He didn't have to be like, oh, that's a negative question. So,
How dare you?
Yeah. How dare you question my authority? Like, honestly, I don't think Patricia should be a head coach on McDaniels. Neither one of them is going to make it as head coach. That's just my opinion. McDaniels has been a head
already
coach,
a head coach.
but he's not going to make it. Like, he's never going to be a great head coach. I don't see it. Him or Patricia.
Well, it depends. Like, had he like taken the Atlanta job like a couple of years ago, and he had Matt Ryan and like Julio Jones and Roddy White and all those guys, then yeah, maybe.
You still think he would have been a good coach?
Probably not.
I don't think he's a good coach. It's a very hard.
I don't
very
think.
hard
I don't
thing
think
to
he's as good a head coach as Rex Ryan.
I don't think Rex is like pretty good.
Rex is okay.
Yeah. That's my point. Anyways, let's get into the baseball MVP voting. So you can yell about Mike Trout, blah, blah, blah.
These guys never get it right. They never get it right.
Now look.
If you're gonna sit here, Chris, and you're gonna ask me, Scotty, who's the best player in baseball? Probably going to say Mike Trout. Probably the best player in baseball, right?
I'd agree with that.
Okay. Now, if you're giving him the MVP for this season because he's the best player, I'm not even sure this year he was the best player in baseball. I think Mookie Betts was. You can take a look at the numbers. You can take a look at the numbers right here. I know you're into the WAR stat.
I know.
Trout is 10.6. Mookie Betts is 9.6. Betts was also on a better team.
Very close.
Okay?
Look at everyone else's WAR. Just look at everyone else's WAR.
Games are the same. Runs are the same. Betts had 214 hits. Trout had 123. Mookie had 31 home runs. Trout had 29. Mookie had 113 RBIs. Trout had 100. Trout had 30 stolen bases. Mookie had 26. Mookie hit 318. Trout hit 315. Trout had a better slugging and on-base percentage and OPS, but they were all close.
Yeah.
Mookie's team won 95 games, whatever they won, and won the division.
Trout's team won like -6.
No, they won, I think, 74
70,
games.
yeah.
How is he the MVP?
He shouldn't be.
How does that make any
He
sense?
shouldn't be. Listen.
How is Zach Britton not? How is Zach Britton not in the top 3 for Cy Young? He had the best
We talked about
season
that,
a
too.
reliever ever had.
I
Not
don't-
in the top 3.
I don't know.
Listen,
Look, Trout's probably still the best player in baseball.
that's
I want
fine.
that out there.
He's not. That doesn't
I
make him the
understand
MVP.
No,
that does not.
If
make
it
him
does,
the
then
MVP.
he's the MVP. He should have been the MVP
every year. Right.
Every year since he's been, other than his come up year where he didn't even qualify. Every other year, the last 5 years, he should be MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best player in the AL every year.
His team finished.
That's not the best player award.
He had this right.
I don't have a problem with
Honestly, they should change it to the best player at this point.
I don't. No, because that's not what it should be. I didn't have a problem with A-Rod winning it, but that year there was.
I did.
No, that year A-Rod was way better than Trout is compared to the field. There was no Mookie Betts that A-Rod stole it from, really. A-Rod was that much better than everybody. I don't mind it going to a person on a last place team, but don't have it go to a person on a last place team when there's a guy on a first place team that's
Has better
just
numbers.
as good.
Has better numbers.
Just as good.
And you could say like Trout plays a great defensive center field, and he does. He's
He does.
phenomenal.
And Mookie plays an incredible right field.
He was voted the best defensive player in Major League Baseball, not the American League.
Yeah,
Major
platinum glove.
League Baseball.
Got a platinum glove now.
I don't know how many outfield assists he had, but he had quite a few.
And I understand
No one's running on
OPS. Trout wins OPS. Mookie had way more hits, more everything.
More
because
power.
The more acceleration,
Technically,
more power.
technically, have more power.
He doesn't walk as much. And the thing with Trout is, and they tell you
A
that.
lot of it's intentional.
Trout walks. Well,
He
Trout walks a ton, but they also walk him because they don't throw him anything because his team sucks.
Well,
that's also
I mean,
why-
Pujols is batting behind him too.
His team still sucks.
His team is awful. He does get Barry Bonds treatment to some degree. I don't know what he had for intentional walks. I mean, we could look it up.
And they say he actually would probably bat higher if you played in a higher batting average if you played on a better team.
And look at.
You wouldn't see so many crappy pitches. You wouldn't be pushing.
I want to make this.
Pressing.
I want to make this clear. I know you know this already, but some of the listeners may not. This is me bashing Mike Trout. I love Mike Trout. I just don't think he was.
I think Mike Trout's probably going to be the best player I've ever seen in my life, which is crazy because
I
I saw
don't
Barry
think.
Bonds.
I don't think he was as good as Bonds or Griffey. He's getting there though. He's getting there.
Dude, it's 5 years in.
He's getting. I
5
know.
years in, I think he's
know.
the best player that ever
getting-
existed.
He's getting there.
5 years in, at this point, if you just killed everyone off after 5 years of their career, Mike Trout would be the best player in history.
Well,
He's absurd.
okay. Are you starting Babe Ruth his first year in New York?
I'm starting is when he started in the league.
Babe Ruth.
No, when he started in the league. I can't count just him starting New York. That's not fair. It has to be when you start the league. When
My
you
old
come
man,
in the league.
do you know what my old man said the other day? He goes, "You never saw Mickey Mantle play. Mike Trout is Mickey Mantle. That's what it was like.
I'm sure it is.
Except Mickey Mantle was a switch hitter. But if anyone tells me that Trout's the best player in baseball, I'm going to give a thumbs up. Yep, I agree. He is. That does not mean he was the most valuable player this year.
No.
All right? These guys need to get in a room and decide what MVP means. They
Plus,
need to
it's
define
not
it.
like Trout's way better than Betts. There's actually a slight
Mookie has
argument.
better numbers.
We'll go by WAR because I love WAR, and so do a lot of advanced stats. It's weird now. Suddenly,
War is
baseball
still close.
Right. Trout's 10.6. Mookie's 9.6. How far is the next guy off?
7.7.
That's
That was
Altuve.
Altuve.
And then Donaldson 7.4, Machado 6.7, and Ortiz is 5.1. Ortiz doesn't field, so it's automatically he's going to
Ortiz got the other one place. Someone gave him a first place vote.
Hey, someone gave Adrian Beltre a first place vote.
Beltre had a great year.
The problem with me is I don't understand how you cannot have Trout or Betts as your first place vote. I think any other vote's ridiculous. Seriously,
Ortiz may have been a sympathetic.
it probably was, but I think 3 or 4 guys had Mookie as third. Even if you vote someone else first, how can you not have Mookie second?
You can't. You can't.
Because if you're going by best player,
Let's be honest.
let's say you go by best player, you pick Trout, then Mookie's your default second, right? Let's say you're not going by best player, so you're not going to pick Trout. You're either putting Mookie first, or even if you put someone else first for MVP, Mookie's got to be second.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand the vote.
I wish Ted Williams.
I mean, I know Verlander probably should have been on everyone's ballot.
I wish Ted Williams was still alive because he would have great. No one got screwed out of MVPs like him, like in the history of sports. So I mean, I would have loved to have seen what he thought on this.
He would have been like, man, that happens.
No, I remember.
Probably would have just said something really grinky.
I remember when Pedro got screwed out of the MVP in '99. He goes, oh, I can understand it. I won the Triple Crown twice. Thought that was pretty good. I didn't win the MVP.
That's what I mean. It's like, whatever. He's like, I got screwed. I get it. That's what happens.
Listen, but like, I just don't get it. I don't understand how we won the MVP.
Well, it comes to a point in time where what are MVPs worth if they're always shit when who they give it to?
Chris, they won 74 games.
Right. If it's best player in baseball, he's been the best player in baseball.
Yes, his WAR was
5 years running.
okay. His WAR was 10.6. Great. His team won 74 games. They finished last. I don't get it. Someone explain it to me. At least they got the National League right. I mean, for Christ's sake. I mean, that one was kind of hard to get wrong. But
and even he wasn't as good as Betts.
Chris Bryant?
Yeah.
No. Mookie was he hit more home runs, but Betts was better everywhere else.
Betts was, honestly. Betts had what could be a career year. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be his career year, but it could be. He had a better year than, say, Pedroia did when he won MVP. Way better.
Pedroia was a classic case that there's really
no one around, yeah.
I actually thought
Pedroia's MVP is like Derrick Rose's MVP. Where it's like, okay, it's an MVP season.
No, Rose had a great year that year.
No, compared to, if you look at historical MVP seasons, no.
I'm saying for that year. I'm saying for that year.
But there was no one else. And then his team...
LeBron's first year in Miami kind of sucked. And by sucked, I mean he averaged like 25-5 or whatever it was.
It was like 25-7-7 or something ridiculous. He's always like that.
Yeah.
But the point is, Rose had a very good year, but if you look at every other MVP seasons around him, he's by far the worst. Now, I know it's hard to do that, but it's Pedroia's MVP season did not stand
I've said that before. In 2008, I didn't even think he was the MVP of his team. I thought Youkilis was. I thought Youkilis had a better season.
And Pedroia, I mean, I'm not trying to take it away from him. I'm trying to say...
Yeah, you are.
No, it's just like, realistically, like, what's an MVP worth if the guy's like the 20th best player or 10th best player in the league and wins MVP? If Derek Jeter had an MVP, I'd flip my lid. Derek Jeter was
he finished second one year.
I know, and he should never finish probably higher than like 7th or 8th. Honestly, that's like being generous.
It always had. They
put it this way: Mookie Betts just had a year better than any Jeter ever had by far.
They gave Kobe that joke of an MVP.
Trout's already a better. If Trout dies today,
remember Kobe
he's a better player than.
Remember Kobe in 08?
He should have went to Chris Paul.
He should have finished third. It should have been Chris Paul, Garnett.
And the only reason it shouldn't have been Garnett is because he got injured for that 2.5 week period.
There's no way. Look, he
doesn't get injured.
I'm not even saying Garnett should have won it, but there's no way that Kobe should have finished higher. They won 32 more games.
No,
with 42 more games. With
the Lakers went on a tear once they got Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol was the MVP more than Kobe was.
Pau Gasol was.
That Lakers team was dead in the water until they made that deal.
Yeah, they wouldn't have won anyway. Like they would have made the playoffs and stuff. But.
Yeah, San Antonio would have gone back to the finals. Which it actually worked out because if we played the Spurs, it might have been a tougher matchup. Probably.
I don't know.
Chris Paul could have brought. They were still the defending champs.
Chris Paul could have brought him up.
What, if New Orleans had made the finals?
He could have.
Yeah, Rondo always played good against Paul, though. That's back when I liked Rondo when he played.
That's when Rondo played a lot of defense.
Yeah,
that was basically Rondo was like a cornerback playing defense back then.
Dude, I loved Rondo back in the day.
That's all he did was steal the ball.
I started to sour on Rondo like somewhere in the 2011 season.
After Ray Allen left.
No, it was before Ray left. I started to kind of like.
Yeah, I mean,
Rondo could have been a Hall of Famer if he wanted it.
Still could be if you win a couple more All-Star games. Highly unlikely at this point.
Could have been a Hall of Famer. He had the talent. It's like Antoine Walker. He had the talent. He pissed it away.
It was a big trade yesterday, too, wasn't there? Let's look at Adam Rubin's Hall of Fame ballot. He put Barry Bonds on it.
Agree.
Bagwell.
Disagree.
I don't mind Bagwell getting in. Pudge Rodriguez. Definitely agree. Edgar Martinez. I agree with that. Lee Smith. Roger Clemens.
Agree.
Tim Raines. I don't agree with that.
No.
Vlad Guerrero,
Yes.
Manny Ramirez.
Yes.
Look, Tim Wakefield's on there.
Bum.
Told you, if Tim Wakefield just kept playing, he would have ended up being a Hall of Fame eventually.
Hoffman should have got in last year.
Hoffman should.
He'll get in this year. This year he'll get in. Manny should get in but won't. Bonds should get in but won't. Clemens should get in but won't.
But look at this. See, Schilling should be in, I think.
Schilling should be in.
A lot of these players should not be in. Kent shouldn't be in.
Jeff Kent is borderline.
He shouldn't be.
He had a great career.
I don't think McGriff should be in. Melvin Moore and Messina both shouldn't be in. Maglio Jr. shouldn't be in. Jorge Posada, maybe for a catcher, but even then, him and Varitek, very good players. I don't think they should be Hall of Famers. Sosa should be in.
I disagree.
He has, what, 660 home runs? Something ridiculous?
He has over 600 home runs.
That's a lot, dude.
Before he was juicing, he was just a marginal player.
Walker shouldn't get in.
He was a great player, though.
Walker. He had that one of the MVP seasons was ridiculous.
He was on my best of the rest last year when I did my own
Yeah,
ballot.
Renteria shouldn't be in. I mean, Mike Cameron should not be in.
He was Moose was another one of my best of the rest. Messina
He
was.
shouldn't be in. Orlando Cabrera shouldn't be in. I mean,
Messina retired, I think, with like 275 wins. He should have pitched a couple more years.
I was thinking Wakefield kept pitching, he wouldn't end up getting enough wins. I know you hate Wakefield, but
He would have.
Wakefield could have pitched forever.
He retired with 200 wins. That was 5 years ago. If he was still pitching, he'd have 206 wins.
No.
And he'd probably have like 250 losses.
So if Wakefield kept pitching, he'd have 250 plus wins by now.
That was the only thing I didn't like about Francona when he managed shares. He trotted that bum out every fifth day.
Dude, he was an innings eater. He has value.
Tim Wakefield gives you innings. They're bad innings.
They're not all bad innings.
A lot of them
They're
are.
average innings. He gives you a lot of average innings. And if he can give you a lot of average innings for a massive career, then it ends up working out.
Look, Tim Wakefield, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I just hated watching him pitch.
I love watching him pitch.
It's great.
I trot him out every fifth game now.
I'm sure you
Better than Clay Buchholz.
I'm sure you loved watching Aaron Boone hit that walk off.
No, listen, you don't put a fucking knuckleballer out to close the game no matter what. I'd rather have a positional
There's no one
pitcher.
else.
I'd rather have a positional player go in there and pitch.
There's no one else
Honestly.
that night.
Grab an outfielder that throws hard and be like, just try to get him out.
There was no one else. He used Embry and Timlin too late. Little did.
He screwed that game up. And the Wakefield was horrible.
some.
You can't have
They've
a
done
knuckleballer.
they've done simulations. Had he taken Pedro out after the seventh,
There's no way they would have lost.
No, like the probability was like 99.6% they win. It was like crazy.
There's no way. There's no way.
Timlin and Embry and Williamson
Unhittable in that.
didn't give up a run in 20-something
Right.
innings.
Unhittable.
When he struck out Soriano to end the seventh, they're up 4-2. Ortiz hit the home run off Wells at the top of the eighth to make it 5-2. I was going to my dad's room busting his balls. I was like, this fucking game's over.
Should have been. That team might have been better than the 04 team. It was close.
That's the best Red Sox team I saw.
It was close. You got anything to say about the Celtics other than they just suck? They suck. They're stuck in mediocrity.
By the way, we're going to be seeing Rich Gotham in a couple of weeks.
What's your first question going to be?
Did Tom Brady really look at Olenek in the Durant meeting and say, what's he doing here? That's my first question.
I forgot. I had some good ones I was thinking about. They should fire Stevens.
Look at.
He fucked up their whole.
By the way, check us out on www.gamesofvengeance.com. I wrote a piece about the Celtics last week. Go
They
check
should
it
fire
out.
Stevens.
Not that's a little strong, but I will say this: if the rumors that I'm hearing are true, and that the reason they haven't made a trade for like a Cousins or someone like that is because Stevens is apprehensive about coaching them, that's a problem
I told you that.
because it's not.
Stevens is coaching people like this is college.
This isn't college.
That's what he's
not
coaching
at Butler.
You gotta get.
Okay, you can't just.
I know you don't like Doc, but managing superstars is an important part of this league if you want to be anybody.
Doc
It
was,
is.
Doc was Doc was good at managing personalities.
He's good at X's and O's. He's good at.
He was good at X's and O's.
He's bad at.
He can't. He
Look,
can't find a
he's horrible at
rotation.
setting up a rotation. He's good at plays out of
terrible
timeouts.
at subs-
He's horrible at calling timeouts, but he's good at making plays out of timeouts.
He can't make the right substitutions.
He's still a BB plus. He's a Claude Julien of fucking basketball. Okay, it's when you get rid of the guy.
Well,
If
yeah.
you don't have a better guy in there,
Okay,
you're like, oh, what am I doing?
Give Stevens, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen with a Rondo who cares and is motivated. I'm pretty sure he wins the title too.
That's not the point, Scotty. Give me them and I win a
You
title.
could like go across the
Look.
street. You could go across the street and get a scarecrow and put him on the
We talked about
sidelines
this
in
already.
08, that team wins.
You have Belichick. He's on a completely another level. Okay? Then Francona is probably slightly better than Julian and Doc. But those guys are in that next tier of coaches / managers. Okay? They really are. You can hate them all you want. They're B+.
I don't even hate him. I just don't think he's a very good coach. That's
He's
all.
better than you think he is. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, too. That's going to be the best. I'm gonna drag you to his fucking speech when he gets in.
Well, it's in Springfield.
Yeah, we're gonna go out there.
By the way,
and I'm gonna be like, Doc, you're gonna have a shirt. This is FireDocNow.com.
I will say, I still have it. I will say, I think Tarek still has his too. He's gonna have to dig it up. I will say this: I bet that Doc would be smart enough not to play Kelly Olynyk. I love
Doc would have been smart enough to make sure Kelly Olynyk did not go to recruit.
David Lee. Why can't the Celtics get players like that? Making a poster out of that bum with the ponytail. Yeah, Amir Johnson with another strong effort for the Celtics today in 20 minutes, 0 points and 2 rebounds.
You know, too, I told you Kawhi Leonard was going to be a player. I told you that back in the day.
Yeah, you did.
I really did.
He's going to be a player.
That kid's good.
He's a dirt dog.
He's going to be a player. The problem is I say that about a lot of guys and they bust out and you're like, ah.
Yeah, you're like a total Heinzen. Remember Zach Studfeld? You had him in Canton.
I had him in Canton, I did. But I also said Vincent Jackson was going to be a really good player when he played well against the Patriots in 06.
He is a good player.
And then he became a really good player. So.
Kid's a player.
Kid's a player.
All right, Brooklyn's losing. That's good. Keep losing. Maybe we can trade the pick.
Clippers have any chance to take the Warriors out when this actually gets into the playoffs?
Yes, they do.
So early now, but
yes, they do.
Presume health, but
yes, they do.
CP3's been playing incredible.
And the reason that they can,
they said he might be able to shoot now because he got LASIK surgery. You know that?
Who?
His vision. Chris Paul. Better vision now.
I need LASIK really bad.
Well, my boy Jay got LASIK. He sat at bowling way better, so it is true. He can suddenly fucking see pins.
Yeah, but the problem is though with LASIK, 10 years down the road, like your vision could suck again.
Yeah, because it can go back, kind of. They say it doesn't, but they say it does, too. It could.
See, I have terrible luck. If I got it done, like, I'd go blind.
You'd lose a fucking eye. One eye, Scotty. My eye. You got anything else to say about the Celtics other than this? Shouldn't they just trade away the Brooklyn pick and get something? Do we need another 6 fucking pick?
Listen to me.
Do we really need another 6 pick?
No. DeMarcus Cousins is out there. And if
I know he's out there, Scott. He's been out there. It's not like he's a Loch Ness monster. We're not sure if he exists. He's been there.
Boston is the most logical destination. And if that's true that Stevens
Boston's the most logical destination for fucking...
Listen, if it's true that Stevens doesn't want to coach him, Ainge has to step on his toes and say, look, we have no stars. We need stars. This isn't Butler.
Brad, let me explain something to you. In this league, you need 2 or 3 stars. Usually 3. Right now, we have 0 of those. You're not that important. The stars are. You see what I'm saying here? That's what he should say.
You know what Danny should say? I'm getting Boogie Cousins, and if you want to coach this team, fine. I'll bring in ML.
I'll bring in ML. We'll tank. We'll have Boogie Cousins. We'll get the first pick with Boogie. All right.
Dude, back in 97 when they were taking for Duncan, this was a ritual every press conference, right? Because it was Antoine Walker's rookie year. ML would drink the orange juice, smack his lips like that. And then, like, invariably, whenever, like, the reporter asked him, he would always say, oh, Antoine played great tonight. Oh, Antoine played great.
I love ML.
So you bring him back, you drink it, smack the lips. Oh, Boogie played great.
Boogie played great.
Hey, ML did his job. Worst record in the league. He did his job. He admitted it in the paper last year. Like, yeah, my job was to lose as many games as possible.
We needed to get him. Bruins are playing well, by the way.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they're a little bit better than mediocre. They're better than I thought they would be. They might be better than the Celtics. And the good thing about hockey is, hockey you can be mediocre and that's fine. That's not a problem in hockey.
In hockey, you can
be mediocre in football and that's fine.
In hockey, you could suck for 4 months and your goaltender gets ridiculously hot and you
win the cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
But any other sport, you can be mediocre and it's pretty good. Like, oh, we're going to make playoffs. Oh, that's good. We'll see where it goes.
Basketball, no.
Basketball's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
The worst. It's the worst spot you want to be. You don't want to be the 8 seed.
No.
8 seed might as well not even go to play the 1 seed anymore.
Nope.
Well, the last 8 seed that
I have terrible reflux right now from that pie.
See? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I never take my omeprazole, and sometimes I throw up at night and stuff. It's horrible.
No, you know what? When you get a take, is that friggin' whatchamacallit?
No, if I take omeprazole, I'm good.
No,
omeprazole is the prescription stuff I take.
What's the other one I take?
I take omeprazole, Zantac, or Tums.
No, there's one that you take before you eat, and I can't think of the name of it.
I take omeprazole.
No.
Every day.
No.
Not
Gaviscon. It's the pill.
I take a pill. It's fucking purple and gray.
I can't think of it.
Called omeprazole. It's a prescription. It's like a wonder
drug. It's the one that Larry the Cable Guy does.
Dude, I don't know what Larry the Cable Guy does for drugs. Are you serious?
No, like the zero heartburn one.
I don't know, dude. I'm just telling you. Omeprazole.
Prilosec.
I think Prilosec and omeprazole is the same exact thing. I'm pretty sure omeprazole is Prilosec. what's it called?
Zero heartburn. The sweet taste of victory.
Yeah, Prilosec and omeprazole, the same exact thing, dude. Prilosec's just a name brand for omeprazole.
Okay, whatever. Same thing. Whatever.
Omeprazole is generic. Like, I take omeprazole. As long as I take my omeprazole daily, I'm good. I go to the doctor, tell him I want to up my dose to twice a day, just to make sure I take it, because I never fucking take my pills like I'm supposed to. I'll be good.
Got me so aggravated.
Got me so fucking aggravated.
But yeah, by the way, we're gonna have to either do the show that Thursday night or Saturday night.
Oh, we can do the show live via satellite with Rich Gotham.
I'm not carrying all this shit in there.
Like, could you speak into the mic, please? I'd be like, do you think hiring Brad Stevens was a mistake? You should have tanked for 3 years.
Yeah. No, I'll ask the tough questions. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna ask him like legit questions. I'm not gonna softball questions.
Is he gonna answer us though?
I'm also gonna say like,
He'd be like, why don't you go fuck your couch, Tommy?
no, I'm gonna say also like, yeah,
what?
like real fans don't like this like Titantron dancing like light crap. Like, can you just like go back to the
Yeah,
organ?
he has to do that though. You know that.
Like,
they have to do that for kids and stuff. Like when I bring Anthony in his 4, he's gonna like fucking want to look at lights and have something shot at him by a cannon. He's not gonna be like, oh, I can't. You look at him boxing out. You know what I mean? Like I'll try to teach him and stuff, but he'll be 4.
The old garden smelled like crocodile piss. The food was terrible. It was hot. There was no air
Smoke
conditioning.
everywhere.
There was smoke everywhere.
I don't even know.
That was the best.
Technically, I don't know
atmosphere.
how Larry Bird could hit any shots because there was smoke everywhere. Like playing in a fog.
We were in section 31 at the old garden. My dad had season tickets. It was right under the overhang behind the visitors bench. This is every game that he took me to. Every game. After the first period, stay right here. Don't move. He would go up to the concourse, like double fist of beer. He would smoke a cigarette right in the concourse. No one would say anything. He put the cigarette.
That's how you did it, dude.
That's how you... Smoking a cigarette, no one said anything.
No one said anything because it was loud.
He always... The only bad thing is, like, I would be like, oh, can I go next Friday? He's like, no, they're playing the Lakers. I'm not going next week. And like,
I
oh,
remember,
they're playing
when we were
Chicago.
younger, smoking was everywhere.
I know.
People would smoke everywhere. You go into a restaurant, everyone's smoking. You go to a high school game for something, everyone's smoking cigarettes. Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
We used to steal my dad. My dad used to smoke Winston regulars. We used to steal 2 cigarettes, go in Linwood, smoke the cigarette, and come back. He'd never found out.
Oh, we would if you listen to this podcast.
He doesn't even listen to it. He doesn't have time.
I do have
By the way, me, you, and Mikey, we got to watch Godfather 1 and 2 at some point.
we gotta watch. I'd rather watch Goodfellas and Bronx Tale though. Goodfellas 1 and
Or Donnie
2
Brasco.
Donnie Brasco. We gotta watch all of those,
Yeah, we got
and
to.
probably Casino too.
We can't do it in one sitting. Though.
And then we gotta watch Mafia.
We're gonna
That's
have to do a
great
couple
movie.
of them.
Great movie, Mafia. The
Is that the
spoof.
one with Jay
It's a
Moore?
spoof. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those
It's a
are
great
good.
spoof.
No, the best part of that movie is when the brother comes out of the car, like all the powder comes.
Because he gets wicked addicted. He's like, I do have a problem with that. Look, Phil Jackson said the word posse. It offended, apparently, LeBron James. He made it a racial issue. I have no idea why it was a racial issue. I don't think he was saying posse to
He made it
the
a racial
original-
issue because he's black.
Right. But in his guy, Maverick Carter, am I allowed to say guy? Are you allowed to say that when it's a black person? Like his guy?
Yeah, guy.
Like, should I say his boy? I don't know. His friend?
His guy.
His business manager, whatever, Maverick Carter, okay?
Sure.
Started saying it like, oh yeah, he was the one that started the racial problem. Then LeBron agreed with it. Carmelo Anthony agreed with it. I'm like, I don't think... Phil Jackson's probably one of the least racist people there is. He said the word posse because that's what it is. It's a posse. White person can have a posse too. A gang, a group, a crew.
Are you sure
what are you going to call him?
Sure, he didn't call him a pussy.
He might have. He might have meant to. And then LeBron was like, I'm offended by that. That's racial.
It's like Bob Kraft.
Fuck you, pussy. Look at this. Synonyms for posse. Gang, band, group, crowd, pack, horde, herd, throng, mob, swarm, troop, cluster. Like, you have a group of people. You call them a posse. LeBron and his posse. LeBron and his entourage. How is that racial?
Our email chain, posse. There you go.
Well, yeah, it's not racial.
No.
I don't think anything he said was racial. I completely agree racism exists, but that's not a racial thing. You don't have to insert race into that. He just was referring to your group of people who are probably not helpful to you as a basketball player. I get it. You come up, all your friends and stuff and family, you take care of them. They're always around. It's like that for all athletes,
ask
right?
Antoine about posse.
Aren't athletes like that, though?
Yeah.
That's what happens to them. Yeah, I get it. You become rich and famous, you have to take care of other people. Makes perfect sense. If you had a best friend and you became rich and famous, Wouldn't you probably take care of your 10 best friends if you became rich and famous and you were an athlete?
If I was making like $100 million,
Yeah.
like I'd give like you
And you've seen
I give you
and you've seen players, right? With
Look,
ballers with
The Rock.
The Rock.
Great show.
and one of the defensive linemen, the guy that hurt himself, I forget. He
I can't remember.
he's got his friends all around hanging out.
Yeah.
He's, dude, I'd be having that too. All my friends would be living on the couch.
Dude, if I make
whether they're white, black, Hispanic, whatever.
if I sign a $200 million deal and I got money to burn, like I'll give you $1 million.
I'd probably live in your basement. You know what I mean? Even the kid would live in your basement.
I want one of my friends to fucking make it rich so I can just like move out of here and just live in their house.
See, that's my point. You'd be his posse, but it's not a racial thing.
The best is my best friend's a pharmacist. He makes like $130K a year now, and I know that like if I ever lose my house, I can just crash at his house for the rest of my life, so I'm good.
You're not gonna lose this house anyways.
No, but you never know.
Plus, you'll always have Craig here if you want.
No, he wants to move out.
You can charge him rent. Do you charge for Craig rent? Do your parents charge him rent?
I'm still paying my parents' rent, even though it's my house.
Does he charge rent too?
Craig has to pay rent.
Craig should pay like triple rent.
No, he makes more than me, so he pays more.
He should pay fucking triple rent. His name is Naval. Must be Italian.
No, my rent went up when I got a better job because I make more money, and that's how that works.
What?
Like I
What
was
is this, subsidized parent housing?
No,
like Scotty, I know you own the house, but every time you get a raise, your rent goes up.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That doesn't make any sense.
I make more money now than I did in Chelsea, so I got to pay more now. Not like significantly more, not like double, but I got to pay more.
No, I get that, but that doesn't make sense.
My mother sees my paycheck. She tells my father what I make. My father says, "All right, your rent is this now."
And can't you just say leave?
I pay him every January.
And can't you just be like leave the house? You're kicked out. You're no longer welcome here.
Like early,
You would never do that.
No, like in January, I think he said like, okay, it's gonna be like X amount a month, and it came to like $4,200, and I just wrote him a check for $4,200, pay for the year.
I get that. Now, do you pay the taxes here, or they do?
Like pay the bills, I pitch in. Yeah, I don't pay all of them.
Oh, I mean,
Like I pay a portion of the gas bill, I pay a portion of the electric, I pay a portion of the cable, I pay a portion of the water. So I pay, but he does too, and we basically split the bill 4 ways.
completely fair. It makes complete sense. Now, Tom Brady's still probably the MVP in my eyes. We have to see what happens this week.
You're gonna
Is someone in Dallas going to win the MVP?
Your 3 guys are gonna be the running back, Elliott, Prescott, and Brady. Those are gonna be you guys.
Okay, well, how can it be Prescott or Elliott?
Because they're not Tom Brady and they're not the Patriots.
I understand that, but
And they didn't miss 4 games.
They're 9-1.
That's gonna hurt them.
I get that. They're 9-1, but most of their success.
This Cowboys, I was watching.
This Cowboys team is very good.
I watched a little of the Cowboys.
They might win the
yesterday.
Super Bowl.
Do you know who they remind me of? I think I got a specific team in mind. Do you know who they remind me of?
They're my specific team. No.
2004 Steelers.
I don't
Exact
think
same
their defense
story.
is that good.
It's not, but they went 15-1. They barely survived their first home playoff game. They got blasted in the AFC Championship game.
But this team has an incredible offensive line. One of the best
I
I've
could
seen.
honestly see, if Seattle is healthy, I can honestly see Seattle going to Dallas and beating them in a playoff game.
Well, I could too, but I don't. I think Dallas is probably the best team in the league right now.
When's the last time Dallas played a real quarterback? I mean, Cousins is
Cousins is good, dude.
He's okay.
And he just destroyed him.
He put up like what, 28 points?
Yeah,
Was Grayson pissed yesterday?
Yeah, Grayson was a little pissed because he knew that Washington couldn't stop him. I mean, if that's your team, it's not really fun to watch that.
Oh, believe
to
me,
watch the other team just go down and but the Patriots are not that bad. That's the thing. Patriots.
The only difference is the Patriots have a guy over the top at all times, so they don't get beat for 90-yard touchdowns like Dallas did.
Look at this, Kirk Cousins.
They pay McCourty $9 million a year to play 30 yards behind the line.
Kirk Cousins, 41 for 53, 449 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he played good.
Look, his quarterback rating was a 120.7. His QBR was an 87.8. Prescott had a better QBR by almost 10 points, 97.6. I understand Prescott was really good, but that's the problem with QBR. QBR doesn't tell me the story that Prescott really didn't have to do much of anything. He really didn't. That was 17 for 24, 195 yards and a touchdown. And he ran well, too. He had a touchdown.
I texted Troy yesterday. I was like, the Cowboys' D isn't that good. He agreed with me.
No, Cowboys D is probably worse than the Patriots D. They're not good defenses.
No.
This is the league, though. No one has good defenses. Very few teams.
Wouldn't you feel better about this defense going into December and January, though, if you still had Collins and Chandler Jones.
We still had Collins, Chandler Jones, but we still had
Will Fork.
No, the other dude that we cut easily.
Dominique Easley.
I'd probably feel better. Yeah, honestly, that's a lot of talent.
Is Pot Rose still a free agent?
Pot Rose probably drinking, watching Celtics clips. Yeah. Like, hey, we should have got Durant. If we got Durant, we'd be the champs. Honestly, this team with Durant is completely different.
By the way, Durant right now is like breathing a sigh of relief. Like, thank God I didn't go to Boston.
Is he though?
I do. I think so.
I mean, he's got to feel it a little bit in his conscience his heart that everyone hates him.
Look, I don't think he cares unless he.
Would you care if that was you? Because he seems like he's the kind of guy that would care.
Unless he really is that mentally weak. Like LeBron cares what people think about him. I don't know if Durant's.
But shouldn't you care what everyone in the world thinks about you?
No.
You don't think so?
I think that's why Russell was so great. Everyone thought he was like an asshole, but he didn't care.
What he also didn't do, like leave. Like you build a super
team. Couldn't do it back then.
I know, because they like.
My uncle said this when Kevin Durant did this summer. That would have been like Elgin Baylor like signing with the Celtics in 1963. That's what it would have been like, or Oscar Robertson. Free agency's kind of ruined sports. Hate to break it to people, but it is.
But it's awesome though because teams shouldn't own you. I mean, if the Patriots just wanted to pay people, they could.
But they don't.
Look, I have no problem with Bill Belichick, the GM, 90% of the time. I think he's the greatest GM in sports. I really do. Possibly the greatest GM ever. But he could afford to pay a lot of these guys and just keep them happy. Because if he's not going to pay Revis, and he's not going to pay Chandler Jones, he's not going to pay Collins, and he's going to get rid of Sherrod probably at the end of this year, what the hell is he going to pay?
Well, he's going to keep Butler and Hightower now.
He better. What if he doesn't?
No excuse. No.
What if they both walk?
At this point, no excuse.
What if he ponies up $8 million a year for Logan Ryan? And that's the one he keeps.
At this point, no excuse.
Like the Kyle Arrington $6 million a year thing.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that.
Okay, so we don't know what he's going to do.
Chris was talking me off the ledge at Atlas Glenmore when that deal went down.
Well, I was like, he's a good slot corner though. He's good in the slot. I hope he just plays him in the slot.
He had to talk me off the ledge.
I'm glad we signed our third corner to big money. He's good in the slot. You just stick him in the slot, though, you're good. Don't play him ever on the outside. He's not allowed outside the numbers. Not even to cover someone. Stop right there. I was coaching at Kyle Arrington. I'd be like, listen, see these numbers? You never go outside. What if the receivers are there? Let someone else
just
find
let
them go. Touchdown. That's fine. You just never come outside these numbers.
You got anything else?
Not really.
All right. You working on your piece?
Yeah, I am. I'm working on a couple.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. He's Chris. I'm Cash. We'll see you next week on Chris and Cash Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. And check us out on our website.
Chris and Cash Podcast on YouTube.
www.gamesofbinches.com. We're going to start actually posting the podcast on the website.
Are we figuring out how to do that?
I'm just going to put the link on there.
All right.
If people are that lazy that they can't just click on a link, then I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you.
But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and we'll try to get some quotes from Mr. Gotham in a couple of weeks. Talk to you later.
Ciao.